Yeah, yo, it's the ugly truck driver. How the flock are you? Well, I want to call this a Granny Trucker update, all right? And I'm going to sanitize this real good. The 26th of this month, which is in 5 days, Granny Trucker's going back into the hospital once more for that third brain operation to put the bone back in her head. And I understand it's going to be a rather stressful thing. She's going to have to go through rehab and all that again. I will still say, even though we are no longer associates or friends, that if anybody wants to help contribute to her meeting her medical bills, you can send a check or a money order to my attorney, John Wilson, at 701 Grant Avenue, Collingswood, New Jersey, 08107. And just mark in the comments section, Granny Trucker. It'll get applied appropriately. Now, one thing I want to make clear, okay, because there needs to be some daylight put on this. There has been some bad things said about me by Granny or friends of Granny since our breakup of our association. I've tried to keep the bulk of it under wraps, offline. A couple people attacked her directly on her own Facebook page, not my doing, and I later exposed them. But it's a situation where I've sat there and said, this thing is over, our friendship, our association's over, bada bing, bada boom, it's a done deal, okay? Kaput. And I keep getting emails, and once in a while a phone call, I want to talk to you and all that. And I just sat there. Matter of fact, I had to finally send her an email today and basically said, if you keep this up, I'm going to contact the local police and see what my options are regarding harassment. Truth be known, I've known Granny, I don't know, since I was in Texas, 2006. We met in late 2007. And she ended up losing her job and losing her apartment, was going to be homeless, living on the street, lived with me for a couple of years until she got back up on her own feet and finally got her own apartment. And then she was planning on moving down to Georgia and buying a mobile home down there for her and her grandson, Kyle. And then the day of the move, she had this triple aneurysm and ended up in the hospital. Completely changed her life, her lifestyle, all her plans in life. It's the old saying there, but for the grace of God go I. I did my best out on the internet trying to help her financially. GoFundMe.com site. Different web pages. I'd put up videos, YouTube, social pages, asking for help to meet her financial needs, okay? And I'll be honest with you, I came up short on it. We got some response, but not as much as I had wanted. But the thing that happened, okay, was after she got home, okay, anybody else like me that's a smoker, I've been smoking 50 odd years. I've tried quitting hundreds of times. I'll last 3 days, 4 days until I'm ready to chew the tires off my car. And I fail. Granny's about the same way. But see, there's a difference, and people don't seem to understand this. I had a brain hemorrhage when I was 49 years old. I pretty well recovered. It was only maybe 1/3 as bad as hers. She had a major one. She had to go in and be operated on 2 different operations, okay? But coming home, she was told by her doctors what to do, what not to do, and all that. And the whole time she was in the hospital, she'd harass me, harass her daughter, Jessica. When I get home, I want a cigarette. Well, that's probably one of the worst things you could do after you've had a brain bleed, because the nicotine will jack up your blood pressure. Anyhow, after she got home, she kept bugging the crap out of me and bugging the crap out of her daughter Jessica. And I guess we sort of gave in, and she was smoking maybe 3, maybe 5 cigarettes a day. Seemed to do the thing. We didn't complain too loud. And shortly thereafter, next thing you know, Jessica comes over to my house one day and she's freaking out, totally upset. Granny's back at it full bore. I mean, she'd been borrowing money off of me or cigarettes off of me every time she came over to visit. Then she'd hit her daughter up. She's spending her own money on it. And she's up to over 2 packs a day. Chain smoking damn near. And I got a hold of her. I told her, I says, you keep this crap up, I'm going to cut you off. I guess she didn't listen too well, because I did. I cut her off. I cut her out of my life. I cut our friendship off. And why did I do this? Okay. I don't know if any of you ever watched the original version of Dune. There's a Fremen lady in there. She's sort of like a priestess type lady. And she sat there and she says, this is my word bond. Sounds kind of innocuous, isn't it? Well, with all I've been through in my life, marriages, divorces, you name it, I've learned one thing. Your word bond is what you are. I also learned that when I lived in Texas. Down there, once you get out of the big cities, your handshake's better than a written contract. That's your word bond. So anyhow, I got to the point, I blew Granny out the door, cut her off, knocked her off my Facebook, won't accept phone calls from her, emails, and all that. And why did I do this? Well, my word bond out on GoFundMe.com and on YouTube to support Granny through her medical trials and tribulations was kind of made null and void by the simple fact that she's having a problem paying for her medications and this and that and something else, and yet she's blown anywhere from $7 to $14 a day on cigarettes. Do the mathematics on that. 30 days a month, $210 to $300 a month. Matter of fact, I have one video up, which I took down, where Granny was actually caught having a drag on a cigarette, and one gentleman jumped all over me like stink on poop and sat there and said, there's no way in hell I would donate to her, not with this crap. The man was right. I took the video down. I learned a lesson. Because why? My word bond had been violated. And from that point forward, not in good conscience could I support Granny Trucker in any given way. I had to separate myself from that because I basically was made to look like an ass on the internet. And others around us that knew about the whole deal, they got a little upset. I got a couple things, my couple of my kids, they think Granny walks on water. Well, she doesn't. She's human like you and me. So while she had this triple aneurysm and her plans on going to Georgia came to an end, or at least are backed up for a year or two, I worked 2 winters in a row saving money to do the same thing she is. Yesterday, I got the final approval, the final background clearance, and all the rest of that. And me and my one son, Max, we're headed southbound and down the end of September. I know there's people out there that don't like me, don't care about me. I know there's people who think I'm doing injustice to Granny Trucker, and I'm not. Because they sit there and say, well, Brock, you smoke. What the hell's the big deal between you smoking and her smoking? The difference is, folks, I can afford it. I can pay my bills. I'm meeting my obligations. she's struggling to get money to pay for prescriptions for drugs. Of course, her insurance company stuck it up her ass. Now, last I heard, there was a $60,000 hospital bill, at which the insurance company originally said, well, $2,000 of it you're going to have to pay, and then they jumped it up to 10 grand. Aren't insurance companies nice? But this is after the fact that I came and put my, what do you want to call it, my word bond on the internet to support this woman. I pleaded, I begged, I borrowed, you name it, to try and raise money to help her. But the bottom line is when push came to shove, she wouldn't help herself. I mean, if she'd stayed 3 or 5 cigarettes a day, you'd never heard a peep out of me. All of a sudden, a pack and a half, 2 packs a day. I mean, even her own daughter, Jessica, was screaming. And it's costing her money. It's costing me money. But see, I'm the one that caught the shit over it when I sat there and said, we're done. We're not associating anymore. And she doesn't understand it. I've heard from a few people everything but the truth on why our association ended. Granny Trucker, it wasn't because of your daughter Jessica. It was by your own actions to yourself, woman, that I had to separate myself from you, because it's your life. If you want to screw it up, fine. But don't ask me to come out there, stand up in front of the whole world and say, help this lady when she won't help herself. That's kind of like giving a junkie a heroin shot. You know what I mean? That's why I sat there and cut her off cold. I don't understand. Well, maybe now you'll understand. I mean, at one time she sent me a nasty email. Take all the videos down where you use my real name, or I'm going to sit there and get after you. Well, I took all the videos down except for one. It's called When the Shit Hits the Fan. And this is the other one that's coming up behind it, which I'm not going to take down. Granny Trucker violated my word bond. Maybe she don't get it. Maybe you don't get it. But see, it's me that was out there on the internet sitting there trying to support her, and she deep-sixed herself by her own stupidity, her own bullheadedness, whatever you want to call it. And now she's going in for this operation on the 26th. I wish her well. I hope she recovers fully, gets back up on her feet, and becomes the feisty old fat broad she used to be. It's up to her. But you know what? I am not going to be her enabler. Go look that one up in the book, will you? I don't think her daughter should be her enabler, or anybody else that's close friends and family be an enabler to allow her to do her stupidity. I guess you missed that one, huh? Anyhow, there it is for what it's worth. Granny's got the 3rd operation coming up. Hope she gets through it real well. End of September, I'm out of state of New Jersey for Georgia. Few things are going to change my life when I get down there. I may end up on social sites with a few lot less friends or other places. Maybe a little less posting on YouTube. I don't know yet. I'm considering that. But for inquiring minds that want to know, I figured I'd put this out there. I don't want to see your hate mail or anything else. It's the facts. It's reality. I don't care what she's told our landlord secretary, Polly, because from what I heard, half of it's bullcrap. And I'll just leave it there. Y'all have a good day. I got to scrub some walls in here and pack some boxes to get the hell out of here in about 30 days. We'll catch you on the backstroke. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Stay out of trouble. God loves you. So do I. Ugly Trucker said so.